Hi, what's up everyone? Today I'm talking about this idea of spiritual bypassing. I've seen it a lot lately. It's become kind of a buzzword, and I want to comment on it because it ties into what I've been working on in my last few videos with what they call the truth trine or the happiness trine of the 4th, 8th, and 12th houses. And these are the moksha or liberation houses. They're also called the water houses in Western astrology, and they're all about our emotional, psychological healing. And it really ties into this idea of spiritual bypassing, which I believe is an oxymoron. I don't think there is any such thing as spiritual bypassing, because the entirety of your life is an experience that contributes to your spirituality. There's nothing outside of that. And the idea, well, here's in the gist of it. This is what has been going around lately, or what I've been seeing people talk about a lot, is that when you start following a spiritual path, whether it's yoga or, Tai Chi or Qigong or Christianity or Sufism or, whatever it is, if it's an organized religion, a yogic path where you have a guru, a non-dual path, a Zen path, whatever. It's the idea that you are bypassing your psychological and emotional traumas and going straight to esoteric experiences, metaphysical experiences, paranormal, chanting, meditation, Kriya yoga, what have you. Whatever method it is, you're going straight there and you're bypassing all of these residual traumas that exist from when you were a child, and even, when you're an adult, or even past life types of things or ancestral karmas. And so I want to talk about that because it's really important, if you are interested in these things. I was talking about in my last videos how the 8th house is the house of that psychological trauma and facing those things and using methods to bring those subconscious traumas up into the conscious mind and try to work with them and deal with them. And all of the anger and resentment and revenge even that you want to get on other people for causing these things for you, because that does manifest. And the thing about this idea of spiritual bypassing is, okay, some people are more attuned to letting go of things. Some people actually are more lighthearted and non-attached. And these people usually have a strong 12th house. And they let go of things just more easily. And that 12th house energy, the 12th house is where we were before we came on this earth and where we're going to go after. It's who we are before we were us, all of our personality and all of our psychological issues. So some people just naturally have a very strong 12th house. They're very in tune with other dimensions, other worlds. They're not really attached too much to the idea of themselves, sorry. And they are easily let things go. If they're insulted, if they're beaten, whatever it is, they let it go more easily than other people. And that doesn't mean that they're more spiritually advanced. This isn't a linear thing. It's a very cyclic thing. Because when we talk about spiritual bypassing, that is linear. You start with the 4th house, which is reading about spiritual paths and all the things that saints and mystics went through, and they're writing it down for you to learn from and to inspire you. That's the 4th house. Then you go to the 8th house, where you're putting all of this into practice and trying to come to terms with the traumas you suffered, the real actual painful experiences in your life. And then you're trying to assimilate those things or let go of those things or bring them into consciousness more or less and understand all the anger and pain that you're feeling. And then the 12th house is letting that go eventually and realizing all of it is part of an experience. You could say self-realization. It's all the experience of the self, but it's also kind of a collective experience. But then after you do that 12th house stuff, you're letting go piece by piece. You're letting go in little tiny increments. You're not letting the whole thing go. It's not like 4th house, 8th house, 12th house, okay, you're done, you're enlightened, bye, you're out of here, right? No, it's not like that. Because then you got to start all over again. You got to go back, and once you let some little pieces of that self-concept go, that anger go, that resentment towards the people in your life who have caused these experiences, you let that go. That doesn't mean you're going to let the whole thing go. It just means that you've let a piece of it go and it's time to start the cycle again. And that's what the truth trine is. It's a cyclic thing, and you go through it several times throughout your life. Some people are better at 4th house things. They're more adept at translating the wisdom of the past into modern times. They're just really good at doing that. Or they're more adept at actual yoga or union or the actual methods of bringing these things to light, to understanding the self. And that's the 8th house. A lot of these people might have afflicted 8th houses. When the 8th house is afflicted, it takes a longer time for that person to work through all of the anger and trauma they suffered. And then they go to the 12th house and maybe let go of a little piece of that self-concept, right? But every person, that's why astrology is so powerful. It's not one size fits all. Some people just are better at letting go of their egos than others. That doesn't mean that you can't eventually do it, or you can't realize that everything is part of yourself. It just means that you've got more cycles to go through. And sometimes those cycles, like you'll start out trying to become happier, trying to, merge with the source. You start out doing that, however old you are, whether you're in your 20s or 30s or whatever. And then you go through that cycle rather quickly because you're so enthusiastic and you really want to do it, and you really want to find out why you have these bad habits you want to get rid of, or why you have this anger towards people, or why, maybe you do already know why you suffered severe trauma at the hands of someone, but you want to try to become an organically whole person, right? And heal yourself. So you go through those cycles rather quickly, and then they may slow down. They may take 10 years or 12 years for you to go through that cycle again. And you may take a long time at the 8th house where you're dealing with these psychological issues. And then you skip to the 12th and it's rather quick. And then you got to go back and get inspired again, emotionally inspired. So that's how that works. And that's why, you see a lot of these, that's why I really believe so much in astrology, because it's your chart, it's your individuality. And you can't really talk about something that everyone should do when some people are just better at it. And I'm pretty sure, I can't remember, I think this is Saint Francis of Assisi, the mystic in Italy. He was a monk. And, apparently performed many miracles, but he had an extremely traumatic childhood. He was given to his aunt and uncle, I believe it was, and they abused him quite often. And there was actual talk about it in the town. And I'm pretty sure it's St. Francis of Assisi. I should have looked this up before I started the video. Sorry about that, but it is one of those a very documented mystics in Italy. And he had that strong talent to let those things go, he just did it. He immediately, what someone would call right now spiritually bypassed a lot of those psychological issues But actually, he didn't spiritually bypass anything. He already had it in him to let it flow through him and let go. And that's why the 12th house is the last house of the truth trine, of the moksha trine, corresponding to the last sign of Pisces. It's the end, but then you have to start the cycle again, right? And I think that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say about this. And I'm actually writing a course. That's why I haven't been making videos lately. But I'm writing a course about these 3 houses and each planet in these houses. I'm going through each planet in the house and also conjunctions in these houses and how people can become whole again and heal themselves and let go of self-concepts and come to self-realization. So that's what I'm writing about. I'm making a course for it, but I really wanted to get this video out there. Yeah, because I've been seeing this everywhere lately. Okay, so that's all for today, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.